Hello everybody, my name is Katie Hunt and I am the K-12 Education Specialist at the Indiana State Museum and Historic Sites. And today I have an engineering design challenge for you. We are going to build wind-powered cars today using everyday objects we might find around the house. And we're going to do that using the engineering design process. And so to get started, the first thing that we need to do is we need to ask ourselves what we're building today and why we're building it. And so what I want you to do is I want you to think, what do we typically use to power cars? We typically use gasoline, right? And sometimes we even have cars that are powered by electricity too. But what if we could use other things like solar power or wind power? And so in order to think about a wind-powered car, we need to think about other vehicles that are powered by wind, like a sailboat. And what a sailboat has is it has a sail which catches the wind and helps it move along. And so as we're building today, we need to keep all of that in mind. Now, in order to build, we're going to need to brainstorm and we're going to need to think about the supplies we might need to build with. And I have right up here a box of all kinds of supplies that I went around and I found around my house. So think about the things that you might be able to go and find. I have things like plastic straws and popsicle sticks. I have recycled objects like cardboard tubes, just pieces of cardboard or boxes, food boxes. I have string and rubber bands, lots of different kinds of paper cups and paper plates, all of these things. And I also have supplies to keep it together, like tape. And I also have scissors and construction paper. And I also always make sure I have a pencil and paper so that way I can sketch out my design. And that's our next step here, is we need to sketch out our design. Now, I did that on a little piece of paper just like this. I went through and I drew out my design and I labeled my sketch. A good design always has a labeled sketch. And I actually did that up here on my board as well. And so as you can see, I went through and I labeled each part of my car. And I also put down each object I would use to build with. So for my car today, I want to make sure I have a sail, something that can catch the wind. I'm going to use a piece of construction paper for that. And then I want to make sure I have a mast. That's the part that holds the sail up. I'm going to use a straw. You can also use things like cups and cardboard for the body. That's what I'm going to use today. And then you need to think about what you're going to use for your wheels. Now, I have a couple different objects up here that I like to use when I'm designing wheels. The easiest one that I can think of is these little minty candies, these hard ones. And they roll really nicely. They have a hole right down the middle. Makes it perfect to put the axle inside of it. I also have things like bottle caps. If you poke a hole in the middle of this, it works great as a wheel. And one of the easiest way to make some wheels is to just cut out some cardboard circles. I traced one of these caps on a piece of cardboard and cut them out. All you would need to do is poke a hole down the middle and add your axle. And I'm going to use straws for my axles today. So now that I've gone through and I've sketched, I took about 2 or 3 minutes to do that. It's time to start creating. So gather up your objects. For me, I've already created my car today. I'll show you the different parts. I stuck with the construction paper as my sail. I've got my plastic straw as my mast. The body of my car is a little paper cup and a piece of cardboard. And then on the bottom, as you can see, I've taped on my axles and here are my wheels right here. And so this is my finished design. So now the next step is I need to test my design. So in order to test your designs, you just need to find a wind source. So that could be a fan. It could just be a really windy day outside. It could be a hairdryer, or probably the easiest is all you need to do is just blow really hard on it. So that's what I'm gonna do here. And my design works. Now, I saw that my design, it kind of curved off to the side. So something I can do here is I can redesign a little bit. I might want to add something right here on the inside of my wheels. So then that way they can't move on their axles as much as they are. But that's just one thing you can do to redesign. And your design might look a lot different from mine, and that's okay. All designs are a little bit different. So, thank you all so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful day.